Society of Tasmania.
Matthew, what impact will this have on representation for Indigenous people?
A very significant impact. The reality is I suspect we will find Tasmanian Aboriginal peoples reluctant to use the new Victorian service. What that will mean is they'll become unrepresented in our courts. That will have direct results like increased rates of incarceration, slow down our court system as well. There'll be a whole heap of inefficiencies that go through our court system as a result of unrepresented people, but more important than that, in my view, is the impact on the individuals themselves and the broader Aboriginal community.
Are you confident that if it does go ahead, that perhaps after 5 years or after a couple of years that people would get used to the model and that people would be represented properly again, or is this a long-term problem?
Look, it's hard to crystal ball gaze, but I doubt it. As I understand it, the Tasmanian Aboriginal community is a very distinct, very separate community with separate values. It is hard to imagine that the community is going to want to engage with a Victorian-based service, but the reality is by then the damage is done.
What's the how does it work? Can you talk me through the mechanics of it? So if someone in the Aboriginal community in Tasmania needs advice, will someone come down from Victoria? How does it work?
Well, your guess is as good as mine. But the reality is that there has been an absolute dearth of information about how this new system is going to operate, bearing in mind it's due to start on the 1st of July. Are they going to fly in or fly out? I don't know. There's talk about employing junior lawyers in Tasmania. That itself, I think, is a real handicap of this system that they're proposing to implement. At the moment, as you heard before, there are very experienced, very well-regarded Tasmanian lawyers in the Aboriginal legal service, one of them with over 30 years' experience. They're going to be replaced with lawyers of 1, 2, 3 years' experience, and they're simply not going to have the knowledge, the experience, the know-how to properly represent the members of the Aboriginal community in the court. And that's where I said before about the impact on the access to justice issue, which is a very real concern for the Law Society.
What happens on the 1st of July? Do you think that, it's almost, just over 2 weeks away?
Exactly. We don't know. The reality is they expect to have a new service up and running that is supposed to be then providing a service to the local Aboriginal community. For those people who have matters before the court at the moment, I suspect they are in a great deal of uncertainty at the moment. Who's their lawyer going to be on the 1st of July? What organisation is going to represent them? It is clear that this decision has been made very much on the run. It's been made without proper consideration and certainly without any consultation. For example, the Law Society hasn't been consulted with what this new system is going to look like. They have to come to us for practising certificates. And so the fact that only 2 or 3 weeks out they haven't bothered to even talk to the Law Society about what's involved with that in itself indicates the shortcomings of this new system.
So they'd need Tasmanian-specific practices?
They do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.